my opinion is that it's obviously A/B test is a tactic. So when you do any sort of marketing campaign, you typically will run A/B tests, so you have different messaging to see what's going to resonate. So the A/B test part is a tactic. The question, which more specifically is, what data or who do you listen to? I take it all. So there is no one source of truth when it comes to incentive programs. You have to understand, obviously, specifically, what is your partner who is the client? What are they trying to do? So we want to engage our reps more. We want to have them sell a specific SKU list. We want to push a certain product or solution. Obviously, you need to take that information. Then you need to talk to the rep. You got to get data from them. What is going to help them sell? How big is the spiff? Is it is it merchandise or travel? Like, what type of incentive is it going to be, et cetera? So that's just one example where I'm saying you want to take all the data points. And then thirdly, what is the actual end client saying? What is that data as well? Why aren't they buying a specific product or service? So what do we need to do to get them involved? Do we have to get focus group and get more information, like Paul mentioned off the top, to get that sort of information first as well? So my opinion is we need to gather it all. Paul?
Yeah, I think to your point on there's no one source of truth. So I think at the end of the day, there's still experimentation, right? You still have to, first of all, have that clear, we've mentioned this a couple of times, what is your goal? What is it that you've outlined as a strategic objective for your business, for you as a business unit, for example, and pulling information from secondary research online that you've gathered, things like Forrester or market intelligence, and then cross-reference that with what are people actually saying? What are your customers saying? What are your partners saying? And then, of course, your field team's really important. I think they're underutilized. What are partners telling them? And to your point, Brooke, A/B testing is a tactic, but attaching an incentive to one thing and not another, and seeing what happens.
Absolutely.
Or seeing if if there's a specific new product launch you're doing, attaching an incentive to that versus not the rest of your portfolio, and running that for a period of time and seeing what happens.
And just to close the loop before, because I see there's another question that's come up, just to close the loop as well, which is super important if you're running your channel incentive programs and your campaigns and you're getting this data. Don't be inflexible. Be flexible. Don't go in the mindset that, oh, I know what's going to work, or we gathered all this data, and so, okay, they told us what to do, so we're going to do it. But when you get data back that's different, embrace it, and then pivot and make your changes. If you're not inflexible, then you fail. That's what I've learned. You can't be the smartest person in the room all the time, right? You got to take what you have, and then how do you utilize that and pivot? So